Hey everybody, I'm Braveskin and welcome back to Let's Code. Sorry I've been gone for a couple days, life getting in the way. I just did a full format of 2 different hard drives just to kind of get a fresh leap on things, and other things have happened too since I've been away for the past couple days. One big thing is that the Good has subscribed to me. There's a little story, I'll tell of that at the end of today's episode if you want to listen to that. But I'm not going to waste your time with that. We're going to code things at this time. There were some comments, great suggestions in the comments, and I also got some messages asking me questions. So I'm gonna address those comments and messages. One of the most noted things was can you make it to where it adds the new role to the top instead of the bottom? And yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense, because when I roll a whole lot, why would I want to have to scroll down to the bottom of the page just to see what I rolled most recently? That's just silly. So let's do that real quick. We can just change the this is the line that says add new text to our container. So we have it set our container inner HTML to what it is already, and then add on this stuff. So what we'll do is make it Oop, I deleted everything. That's good enough. We'll make it say, okay, our container says our new role, and then at the end of adding our new stuff, what on earth has happened? Let's go back. I messed something up so badly. Okay, yeah. We'll make our container equal. This is like one of the main problems when you leave a program for a while. You get kind of tripped up on yourself when you come back to work on that same project. So our container equals our new role, and then we'll add our old messages to that. So this should work. It'll say container is D, however many sides, like D20. Braveskin rolled a 6 because I suck. New line, and then it'll say everything else that it said before. So let's save that, give it a Control S, and then refresh this page. I'll do a D8, and then a D10, and then a D12. Now my new role is at the top, exactly where I would like it to be. Excellent. Okay, and now another thing is when I keep rolling, it's going to make the page longer and longer and longer, and then we'll kind of get this sidebar. We don't necessarily want a sidebar. So if I remember correctly, I can force the div to be a certain size by adding a style attribute to the HTML tag. So the style, I can force a height. We'll give it 400 pixels to work with. At most it can be 400 pixels tall. And then also, so we can kind of see the div better, let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid black. So let's go back to our page, give it a refresh. Here's our div. It has an outline now, which is pretty cool. D4, just keep rolling D4s. It's like I'm throwing punches at people. Okay, so it's extending outside of the bottom of the div. Not what we wanted. We'll call it I think the attribute is overflow hide. I think. I'm just guessing. D10s across the board. Nope, that's not it at all. Hang on, just one second. I'm gonna look it up. Actually, I'm gonna look it up on camera. It's basically as simple as typing in div overflow. So it'll take us to the CSS overflow property. So we want our overflow to be scroll on our div. So not hide, we'll do scroll, which is pretty cool. Now that that's saved, let's refresh. D10s. Sweet, now it scrolls, but we have this ugly scroll bar, so let's go back to our utility I'm fine with this horizontal bar. We'll live with that for now. Sweet. What if we added a time tag to this? Actually, I played D&D for about 6 hours today, so I've got dice on my mind big time. We'll go to... I guess it would be JavaScript. We'll look at JavaScript, not timer. The date object. We want to assemble a timestamp, basically. I have no idea which one that is. We want the minutes, the hours, and the seconds. So we need to make a new date object. Oh, time equals new date. And then the hours equals, I think it's time get hours. Minutes, seconds. I believe. Get hours, get minutes, get seconds. Normally I would just know these things, but I haven't actually worked with the date object in forever, and it's nice to just have the internet there that you can learn anything you want to learn with just Googling it, really. So now we have a variable for hours, minutes, and seconds. I'm assuming that's working. Now let's kind of assemble our own timestamp. Let's hours, and then add a colon separator, minutes, mintus, minutes, and then another colon separator, and then seconds, and then another colon separator, and then put a little space between our timestamp and our dice roll. So let's refresh, roll a d10. It is error-y. Control-Shift-J brings up the thing. If I refresh the page, I just have a syntax error in my code on line 17. So if I can go to line 17, it's this. Something in here is problematic. It's just a matter of kind of giving it a little bit of a scan. Yeah, here. I had a little extra quotation mark there. Didn't like that. So now, D12. It is 23, 6, 29. That is 23 hours, 6 minutes, and 29 seconds, which is exactly what time it is for me. You guys can't see the clock, but it is 11:06, but that's like the military time. I wish that were 06 instead of just 6. But what you gonna do, you know? And we probably don't really need the seconds, to be honest. I don't know how many times we're going to be rolling every minute. And so yeah, let's take seconds out. That might make it look a little bit neater. Roll a d8. 23:07. Yeah, that'd be fine if I add a... let's clean it up just a little bit. Let's add brackets, because brackets look like time. That's just a fact. And then I guess we can... There's a way to pad minutes. We'll look it up. Let's look it up together as a team. Padding numbers JavaScript. Stack Overflow is a really good site. We want to... Oh my goodness, that is way too much. I'm fine with how it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's just leave that. That looks good. That's enough information for now. We'll figure something out at some point. Not right now though. We have other things. One of the things that I really wanted to do was make the ability to do, I guess, custom buttons to where you can make your own dice roll. So if you have a common athletics check, you can make a new button up at the top here that just says athletics. So you can click on that, it'll roll a d20, and then it'll add on your fixed athletics bonus that you get every time. It's kind of a D&D specific rule, but that's kind of why I'm making this. So for now, so you know, it's 11:08, so in a second we won't have to worry about looking at that single digit. So Braveskin rolled a yes. This is all good. I'm very happy with this. To add a new feature, it's usually a good idea to plan ahead and maybe make a flow chart or a diagram, just getting a general idea of what you actually want to do. But if you're reckless like me and are really bad at planning ahead, as you can tell by this video, you can just jump right into the code, and I think that is actually more fun at times. So let's make a nope, not var new array. Custom buttons equals new array, because we're going to have multiple different buttons. So an array is basically a list in JavaScript. You can custom button 0, our 0th custom button and button is going to be called we'll just call it athletics, because that's an easy one. And we'll make a whole interface for adding the actual custom buttons, but for now we're going to manually add them and just have them be a thing. So once we get to the bottom of our script, I guess we need to print out our custom buttons. So for that, we want to loop through our custom buttons array. For I equals 0, so this is a loop, a for loop. We're going to start I off as 0, and then while this is kind of a little bit more of a complicated situation here. I mean, last episode was very, very, very basic, but now we're going through loops and arrays and such. So while we plug in different numbers for I into custom buttons, while it doesn't equals undefined, if I could spell, just keep going and keep adding I and running through this script, anything inside these brackets here. We just want to document write. Actually, document write's probably not going to be what we're after, because that's going to erase everything, I believe. Let's see. Oh, no, it didn't. It just wrote athletics, and everything still works. I'm so happy with life. That worked and didn't break everything forever. Okay, instead of just printing out the word, we want it to make a button for us. So we'll make it write out some HTML for us. Button. The text of the button will be the definition of our custom buttons into string. So in this case, it'll be athletics for the first one, for 0. And we want the onClick for this button. For now, we'll just do a D20. So let's save, reload this page. Oh, something crashed. 24, we have an error. 24 is this one. Why would it be anywhere else? Okay, yeah, we tried to put quotes inside of quotes, and that is unacceptable. When you, I'm trying to do a document write, which is a whole string in itself. So this whole thing is going to be printed out into HTML once it calls document write. However, once I call this other quotation mark here that my cursor is kind of moving across, that it thinks that this is the only part of the string that matters. So there's this, it's called escaping. You can put a / in front of a quotation mark, and it doesn't care that it's inside the main string. So now that I've escaped these two quotation marks, it just continues on and reads them as quotation marks that are actually part of the string, and then this is the entire string that it will be printing. So saved. Let's go back to Dice. Refresh. Athletics button. Rolls a D20. Marvelous. Okay. I like it. So we'll have it instead do a print custom. We're making a new function called print custom. we're going to copy our print die because that's what it's most like, and I don't want to have to just write all this again. I like what we've got going on here. Print custom, and then again we will pass our custom buttons definition to it for this index of the loop. So it should print custom, passing the variable. This is a little complicated. I'm nesting a lot of quotation marks inside of each other, and I'm not sure if it's even gonna like that. Print custom, and then what we'll do is we'll just return that. So when you call a return inside of a function, it just stops the function. This entire section is not going to be called. So we'll just have it alert, we'll call the input type, alert the type. So I'll refresh. Once again, we have an error on 37. It does not like my nesting, I don't think. Print custom, what we can do to avoid having to escape the quotation marks again and again, we can just use single quotes instead of double quotes. So maybe it'll be okay with that. No, it's not a fan. This looks pretty okay. Let me do some spacing, I suppose. Print custom, custom button. It's passing the athletics string in. So print custom, it'll end up looking like that. Let's see if it's okay with that. Yes, it is. So we're kind of forcing it at this point, but okay, groovy, got it. I'm not sure why it was working before. This looks exactly the same, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm happy that it works just because it does. I click athletics, it says athletics. This is exactly what we're after. Okay, so now we will create a new array. I don't know that this is the most efficient way to do this, but we can refine later. The most important thing now is just getting it to work, really. Custom bonus array. So instead of using numbers, we're going to use words. Nope. Our bonus for athletics, we'll just say it's 9 because we're Michael Phelps. We're super athletic. Hi, Smee. That's my cat. She just meowed at you guys. Just for you. Okay. Our athletics bonus is 9. Shush. Okay. Let's get rid of our test stuff here. That's just called debugging. When you, even if you're not really debugging, you're just kind of testing to make sure everything is going how you want it to go. Okay, so we want all this. That's all good stuff. Our value is we're going to do a normal roll die, and we're going to assume, let's assume 20 for now, d20s, because these are just for skill checks, and that's pretty generally always a d20. And let's add our custom bonus for the type. So our value is going to be, you know what? Let's actually keep these separate. Bonus equals custom bonus with a type. So we click on the custom button that says athletics. It sends the print custom command using athletics as our input. And since athletics is going to be our input for type, it's going to give us the bonus for athletics, which is set to 9. So we have our value and our bonus. Braveskin rolled a value, and then plus our bonus. And then let's add it up just so that we don't have people doing math, because people in math, they just don't get along. Plus bonus. I don't know if we should add total. Let's see what it looks like with total, and if it doesn't look good, we can change it. That's the whole point of computers, that it's not pen and ink. I refreshed. We have no errors. That's a great sign. Athletics. Errors. Size is not defined. That's not good. Let's add a D20. You don't need to be custom. Actually, you should be 20. Let's force our sides. Just for now. This is just a hard variable. Because our custom doesn't always have to be D20s, you know? It could be anything. I mean, we could have people make custom buttons to roll their damage so that they don't have to actually type anything. They can just click the button for their damage power. Okay, so 9 plus 9 is 99 total. Yeah, that's not quite right. 209 total. Okay, so do you even know how to math JavaScript? Come on. It might think that these are strings, so let's give it a ×1. Sometimes that's a neat little trick that you can do just to make JavaScript math. It's not even mathing. Let's put these in parentheses, because JavaScript also thinks parentheses are math. Nope. 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 Let's add them up beforehand, I suppose. Total equals value plus bonus. There you go. Total. I just pressed F5. I don't even know what that did. Okay, F5 here refreshes. Athletics, 109 total. Why are you this way? Equals... What's going on here? There's no JavaScript math add, because I know we have our math random stuff. And why do you think that this is a string, JavaScript? Let's just multiply these by 1 outside. Maybe that's the thing. Athletics, 29 total. Okay, now it's actually adding correctly. That's a good roll. I rolled a 20 and got a +9. Super athlete. Sweet. So we've made progress. Let's make some more progress. Let's make it to where this, instead of just printing out onto the page, we can have it print out into a container and be updatable to where we can add things. Okay, so we need another div then, I suppose. Let's make it to where... Okay, we're getting into the realm of CSS here, which is short for cascading style sheets. It's used mostly by web developers to make websites look pretty, but it's also used for hacky programmers like us to make our utility functional, because we're ghetto and use JavaScript. Which brings me to a thing. Someone said, Python? What? Who said that? Or that was Scoring Desert, I believe. Or Lacuna Scion. He has so many names. He said that I should use Python, and I said, no, I don't like Python. You have to compile Python. You need to actually download the API onto your computer to even run it. It's terrible. But JavaScript is just built in places. So, you keep your Python to yourself. I mean, it is more useful in, the grand scheme of things, but for us, JavaScript is pretty much where it's at. So, custom buttons ID. That won't necessarily work because that is a variable. Custom button container. Huge giant ID, but that is fine. Let us give it a height of 400, a width of 100 maybe? And I would also like it to be forced to the left of this main div here. No errors or anything. I think, yeah, because it put it way down here. That's not where we wanted even in the least bit. So don't do this at home, kids, but I'm going to give this thing an absolute position. So we're going to set its CSS position attribute to absolute, and then give it a top of 0 pixels and a left of 0 pixels. So that's going to anchor it in the top left corner no matter what. Here it is. That looks terrible. So we're going to also give this next one an absolute position. Do never follow this example, especially not in actual web development, but since we're making a utility, we'll be okay. Especially since it's for personal use, and we're not actually making this for anybody. Left is 100 pixels. Width. Oh, we never gave this thing a width. Width equals, I guess it could be 700 pixels wide. It's kind of generous. Now we don't really have room for our main buttons. Let's set it down just a little bit. 50? 50 from the top? I guess that's okay. Oh, you guys can't see the bottom of this error thing, can you? Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'm not happy with it. It'll have to change. Let's go down to 40 for just a second, but I'm gonna quit wasting our time on that. Yeah, that's fine for now. That's fine. The important part is instead of just printing onto the page, we're going to make a function to reset our custom buttons, or draw custom buttons. Which is good. Custom button, we'll just call it container for now, equals, do the same thing we did before with the other container. Oh. So now we have our container. We will clear the inner HTML of the container because we're about to completely refresh it, so that way we can add things on the fly without having to refresh the page, and it will be cool with life. And there's a little trick we can do. Instead of having to make it equal itself, we can just go, oh, plus equal this. And we'll add BR to the end of it, so it just makes a new line for great justice. That didn't work at all. Oh, because this isn't getting called. We will, at the end of our script, just do a, that also won't work. For now, because we're gonna have to call it an episode real quick. Timeout. Draw custom buttons after 500 milliseconds, which is just half a second if you're into time. There. So after about half a second, it drew our athletics button in that little window here, and when I clicked it, it's doing our custom athletics role. So we made a little bit of progress today. Not as much as I would have hoped. I'm about to record another episode now, so you can look forward to another episode tomorrow. Possibly Thomas was alone tomorrow, if I get to it. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, today. It would be later today. Today is Friday. It's Thursday for me right now. But, oh, and look at our timestamp. That looks much better now that it's not single digit, but yeah. Okay, I've been Braveskin. I thank you very much for watching. Oh, I was going to tell the story. Okay, extra long episode today. If you don't care about the story, you can leave now if you want. I don't. That's fine. But it's a fun story. Okay, so I'm at a fast food restaurant having lunch with a friend, and we just sit down with our food, and my phone goes off. Like, I get a notification that someone new has subscribed to me on YouTube, because that happens. So, a few times a day, my phone will go off. So, I sit down and then I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, I got a new subscriber. And it says, Good Boulderfist has subscribed to you on YouTube. So I'm like, you read that. What do you expect your first reaction to be? Mine was, oh crap, people are trying to scam me. Because that's so much more likely than Good subscribing to my channel. So I'm like, oh, well, this is unfortunate that I have to worry about this kind of thing now. So I go into my email program on my phone, and then I check to see if it's really from YouTube, and it is. So I'm kind of like, huh. And then I read through the email again, just to make sure that there's no like text discrepancies in the name, like it's not actually like Good Boulder Fist or Good Boulder Fist, just some kind of variation, someone pretending to be the Goodster. And sure enough, it actually says Good Boulder Fist. So I'm like, oh my god, like, am I being hacked or something? Like this is weird. So I start to come to the realization that, wow, this is actually happening right now. So I, to put it plainly, I lose my shit, and I flip out just a little tiny bit, but in a good way. My friend actually said that she had never seen anyone look happier. So, I mean, the average person in my position could probably take that kind of thing happening a little bit more gracefully, but I'm not graceful. I never said I was. So I freak out about that. I go home, big smile on my face, trying not to die driving home because, I did not earn this good karma. So surely something bad was about to happen to me. But no, I make it home without a hitch. Ever since he subscribed to me, I had been getting like a new subscriber every 5 minutes. I mean, my phone would just not shut up. I'm actually getting to the point where I might actually have to turn that notification thing off. So I get home, and then just to verify, I look on Good's channel and look at his activity feed, and sure enough, at the top of his feed was Good Boulder Fist has subscribed to a new channel, and there was me. And I check his Twitter. And apparently, someone who liked one of my videos was like, "Hey, you should check out this guy." And then Good was like, "Yeah, he has a good voice. I'll check him out." And then he checked me out, and he liked it. So, yeah, there's my little story. I'm a very happy Braveskin, and it was unfortunate that yesterday and most of today I couldn't actually record anything. I'd just been so dang busy. But I'm not busy anymore, so videos. Okay. But that's genuinely all for now. Thank you very much for watching. I really, really, really appreciate all you guys. You are my lifeblood. So I will see you next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.